everybody! Today in this episode, we're going to be putting up the upper cabinets. Here we go! Alrighty guys, so in order to start on the upper cabinets, we're going to have to work our way over. By that I mean we're going to start over here by the solar setup and the mini fridge. So what I want to do here is take advantage of some of the empty space we got here, because we can put a little table right here that we can use for more storage. And we got these 2x2s right here. Now what I was gonna do was just take a piece of plywood going all the way up to the top, because above the fridge here we're gonna have a cabinet. However, I cannot stand to lose any empty space. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the plywood over it, but we're gonna put a little door here so I can put like files and stuff right in between. So take advantage of all the space you can. So that's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna build a little table over here for more storage, put a door in here, and then we're gonna take the cabinet side all the way up to the top. So that's first. Here we go. Alrighty guys, first thing we're gonna do is put a little cross piece across here in order to put the table on. So I'm just getting a little 2x2 right here. You guys can already see I got a mark on there. That's to match the angle of the van wall. And the way I did that was using a scribe. You guys might recognize this as like a compass from school. But the way you use it is you take the metal end and you put it against the van wall and then move it down, and it'll trace onto the wood the angle that you need to cut. So that's the very first thing we're gonna do. So let's go do that. Here we go. Alrighty, we got our angle piece cut. So I'm gonna put that in there, and that's a perfect fit. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out a piece of plywood that's gonna go up to here and right up to the wood cross piece that we just made. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out a section for a door right here, so we can just open it up and then we can put files and whatever in that little tiny section. So again, not wasting any space. So that's next. Here we go. Alrighty guys, so in order to cut out that piece, we're gonna use a template. And the way I did it was I used some foam board insulation. You can also use cardboard, that works too. And I just went ahead and scribed along the wall like I showed you and went around my wires and everything. So now we've got a nice template that we can transfer to the plywood. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna transfer the foam board insulation template to the plywood, cut it out, and then we've got a nice piece of plywood. So that's next. Here we go. Alrighty, so we got the plywood all cut out. Now I want to give you guys a special note. When you guys are cutting out the plywood, leave a little bit extra so when you have to adjust the cut, because going from the foam to the plywood is a little bit different, so you might have to do a couple adjustment cuts, which I did, but it turned out pretty good. So you just have to do a little bit of adjusting, and then you can cut off the excess on the end. So that's just a little tip for you guys. Now next what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and work on cutting out the door section right in here. So we got a nice little place to put our files and whatnot, again, so we're not wasting any space. So that's next. Here we go. Alrighty guys, well we got the door all kind of traced out now. So what we're gonna do is drill out a couple of holes in the corner areas, like right in here and here, and that'll allow us to get our jigsaw in so we can actually make the corners and everything, so we can be able to cut out the piece of wood while leaving the rest of the plywood. So that's what we're gonna do. Here we go. Alrighty, now that we got the door all cut out, we're gonna go ahead and sand it, Lichtenberg it, stain it, and then polyurethane it. We're also going to go ahead and cut out the framework for the table. So that's next. Here we go! Alrighty guys, while we're waiting for that stuff to dry, we're gonna go ahead and work on the framework for the first upper cabinet. Here we go! Alrighty guys, we got the framework for the first upper cabinet all done. Now, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing we did earlier. We're gonna carve out a template for this section right here on the side. We can't do the other side yet because we still have to put the framework and that other piece in. So we still gotta wait for that stuff to dry. So in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and cut out that template right now, and then we're gonna cut out the piece of plywood. Here we go! Alrighty guys, we got the template all cut out. Now again, when you're transferring to the plywood, you want to make sure to leave a little bit extra. The reason we do that is so when we're transferring, there's a little bit of difference between the foam or the cardboard to the plywood. So we want to be able to adjust inward. So you want that extra space so you can pull it in a little bit. And then we can cut off the excess once we get that all done. So we're gonna go ahead and transfer it to the plywood now, cut it out, Lichtenberg it, stain it, and then we're in good shape. Here we go! Alrighty, while we're waiting for that to dry, we're going to go ahead and start on our finished piece. We're going to go ahead and put the handle and the hinges on it. And then we're going to install it. So that's next. Here we go! Alrighty, we got the door installed. So now we've got a nice place to put our files and whatnot. So, didn't waste any space there, so that's kind of nice. So, next what we're going to do is we're going to start working on the table I want to put over here. So we're going to put the framework up first, and then we're going to have to do the same thing we did, is cut out a template for the table. So what we're going to do to install the framework is the same thing we did up here, which is elbow brackets. So that's what we're going to be using, and that's what we're going to be doing. Here we go! Alrighty y'all, now that we got the framework up, we're going to go ahead and cut out the template for the table, and then we're going to cut out the table itself. Here we go! Alrighty, we got the template all cut out. Sweet! So now we got to cut out the plywood. Here we go! Alrighty guys, we got the plywood all cut out. So now what we're going to do is actually cut out this piece right here, since we know where the table's at, so we can get that piece cut out as well. And then we Lichtenberg, stain them, polyurethane them, and then we've got this section all done. Oh yeah! Here we go! Alrighty guys, we got those pieces put together. So you guys notice first we got the table done, then we got those two side pieces done along with the little doors. And check this out. I did a little addition here, and what I added was a little place to put like screwdrivers, scissors, or any other kind of tools I might need. So they're just gonna hang there and just kind of have a nice little place to do that. And if you can see, I put the little elbow brackets underneath, so that's how we installed it. And to make it, it's really hard and very complicated. What you gotta do is cut out a piece of wood and drill some holes in it. There we go! So, now what we're gonna do is we're going to finish up the table here. We're gonna do exactly what we did with the closet over here. We're gonna put a little lip on it so the stuff doesn't go sliding off. And then we're going to start on the cabinet itself. So what we're going to do in here is we're going to go ahead and build the shelves first before we build the door, because that'll give us more room to work. So we're going to build like probably just one shelf going across, and we're probably going to cover up this section right here just so we kind of have a little bit more surface area. And then we'll build the door. Now, by now you guys have seen the routine. What do we do first? We build a template, cut it out, and then we cut the plywood out. Then we sand it, then we Lichtenberg it, and then we stain, polyurethane, and then we put it together. Oh yeah! Alrighty guys, as you can see, we got the first upper cabinet done. Oh yeah! So check this puppy out. So we Lichtenberg the door, and look how pretty it is. And check this out. And we did the other side too. Oh yeah! So it looks really freaking cool. So we got the shelf in there, and as you can see, I built like a little place to put all my utensils and stuff. And the way I built that was, I just got some wood slats, and I used some of those elbow brackets you can see back there, and made the square, and then I glued everything down to the piece of plywood you can see down here, and that's pretty much it. Just use some regular wood glue and just kind of put some weight on top of it, let it set overnight, and then you got a nice place to put your utensils. So we got the first cabinet all done, and if we come over here, you guys can see I got that lip on the table here, so stuff's not going to go flying off on us. So next, what we're going to do is come over here, and we're going to go ahead and build the framework going all along here for the rest of the upper cabinets. So that's next. Here we go! Alrighty guys, as you can see, we got the framework up there. Next up, what we're going to do is cut out the plywood for the faceplates. And most importantly, the bottom, because nothing will hold here right now, except air. So, we're going to go ahead and cut that out now. Here we go! Alrighty guys, we got the upper cabinet up there. Now, I went with an open face cabinet because it's just sort of a small area, because again, this is a cargo van, and also because, well, you guys see kind of the roof angle? Well, when I was putting in the vent fan here, I had to put a support brace across because I had to cut through a brace on the roof. So I had to angle the ceiling down a bit, so that's why it's kind of angled a bit. So I went with an open face cabinet, and I just put like a little lip here. There's like about a 1/2 inch lip up here, and I'm also going to put some non-slip mat in there, so when we're holding stuff in there, it's not going to go and fly out. So next, what we got to do is, since this is over the stove, we want to dissipate that heat a little bit. Now, if you have like a Sprinter or something like that, you definitely want to put like a hood or something like that going to the vent fan. However, I don't have a lot of room, so I'm just going to put a metal sheet underneath to dissipate that heat, so it's not heating up everything like in the cabinet itself. So we're going to go ahead and cut out a metal sheet to fit underneath there. So that's next. Here we go. Alrighty guys, we got the metal sheet all cut out. So what we're going to do next is, we got a little bit of an air gap in between the wood and the metal. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of rock wool insulation. Rock wool is actually fire resistant, so this is actually going to help us dissipate the heat in between here and the upper cabinet. So that's really going to help out, make sure the upper cabinet stuff doesn't get heated up due to the stove. So we're going to go ahead and stuff a whole bunch of rock wool that we can fit in there, and then should be good to go. So that's next. Here we go! Alrighty y'all, now that we got that upper cabinet done, the very last upper cabinet we're going to make is a medicine cabinet right over top of the sink. And so we're going to work on that today. Here we go! Alrighty guys, through no small feat we managed to get the medicine cabinet together using the techniques I've been showing throughout this video. Now, there's one small thing though. I kind of want a mirror. So this is going to be kind of tricky because I've never worked with cutting glass before. Fortunately, I got a tool for that. So we're going to give it a shot. Here we go! Alrighty guys, we got our mirror, and I got a couple extra just to be on the safe side because this is the first time I've done this. So what you want to get is a little glass cutter. I got this at Harbor Freight for like $3, so they're pretty cheap. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a level, or you can use a straight edge, and we're going to score it because you can see like at the, well, kind of, there's this little wheel at the top. It's like a diamond edge. And so we're just gonna score it down just once. We're gonna put like a good bit of pressure on it and come down, and then we're gonna be able to snap it off. So use your straight edge when you're doing that. So we're gonna put the level along here, score it, and then snap it off. So if all goes well, we'll have the right size, because as you can see, I've already marked out what we need. So we're gonna give that a shot now. Here we go! Try number 1, fail. Attempt number 2. Attempt number 2, fail. Attempt number 3. Attempt number 3, good enough. Alrighty guys, as you can see, we got the medicine cabinet all put together. Now what did I do, you ask? Well, I cut out some pieces of wood and made them look all pretty by staining and polyurethaning them. And then I glued them to the mirror itself. And then I did the same on the back side, so we'd have something to attach this little latch to and the hinges. So, you know what that means, baby? We got the upper cabinets all done. Oh yeah! So, I hope you all will join me for next time, because we are doing the finishing touches on the Beardmobile, baby! Oh yeah! Like and subscribe if you want to see that. And I'll see you all then. Oh yeah!